Today, we're just outside of Yuma, Arizona, visiting the Bridge to Nowhere. Hey everyone, Steve with Sidetrack Adventures here. This dirt road I'm standing on used to be Highway 95. And back behind me is the McPhaul Bridge, which was Highway 95's crossing over the Gila River. Now this bridge was in use from 1929 until the 1960s, before this section of Highway 95 was bypassed, making this Yuma's Bridge to Nowhere. So as I mentioned, the road that we're walking on right now used to be part of Highway 95, or US Route 95, and this highway is a real throwback to the pre-interstate days. There are some sprinklers watering the fields next to me right now, so if you hear a weird noise, that's probably what it is. Hopefully it's not too loud. So anyway, Highway 95 goes from the Mexican border in Arizona to the Canadian border in Idaho. The reason it's a throwback is because none of it has been bypassed by the interstates, unlike a lot of other US highways. Meaning you can still drive the whole length from Mexico to Canada. Another unique feature of Route 95 is that it briefly goes into California, making it the only highway or interstate that travels through California but doesn't start or end there. So 95 used to travel this path and cross the Gila River over the McPhaul Bridge up ahead. As traffic picked up in the area and cars got bigger and heavier, it was decided to bypass this section by moving the highway east to its current location. As we get closer, we're getting a much better view of the bridge now. This bridge is still easily visible from the current Highway 95. The bridge was built in 1929 and cost $152,454 to construct, which is about $2.5 million in today's dollars. It was shut down to traffic in 1968, and the bridge is closed to everyone now for safety reasons. Yeah, this danger, keep out unstable bridge sign is a little worrying, but I'm a little bit more worried about this sign. They definitely want to make sure people know the bridge is closed. I mean, there's 3 or 4 signs, a barricade, a fence, pretty much everything they could think of to stop people from going out on the bridge. And you can see the suspension cables here. The McPhaul Bridge is a suspension bridge, obviously, and that's pretty rare in this part of the country. As a matter of fact, I can't think of any others that are nearby. Now, we can't get on the bridge, but we can walk up here and take a closer look at it. I haven't seen any sign of the bees that sign was warning us about yet. Hopefully we don't get up here and run into a swarm of them. Remember when killer bees were a huge topic? Now you never hear anything about them at all. I guess murder hornets took their place. I'm not sure how good this shows up on camera because of this fence, but the roadway is made of wood and is definitely warped. You can kind of make out where it used to say McPhaul Bridge. The bridge was called the Dome Bridge when it was built, but it was eventually renamed for Henry Harrison Hard Rock McPhaul, who was the only Yuma resident to ever become an Arizona Ranger. Here's a look underneath the bridge and all its wooden beams. Looking from the side, this bridge actually reminds me a little of the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, but this bridge is actually 4 years older than the Golden Gate. Like a lot of rivers in the Southwest, the Gila River is not what it once was. There was an earlier bridge crossing the Gila River closer to Yuma that was built in 1915, but it kept getting damaged by the river flooding, and it was costing too much to keep repairing it. So they built this bridge to better stand the test of time. In this drone shot, you can see how small the Gila River is now. A few miles west of here, the Gila River links up with the Colorado River. I'd say they did a good job making a bridge that will stand the test of time, since here we are almost 100 years later and we're still looking at it. There was a flood in the 1990s that damaged the current Highway 95 bridge over the Gila River, but this bridge remained intact. Real quick, we drove around to the other side of the bridge to see if there was anything different on this side. This is open on this side. On the other side there was a metal plate blocking it. Let's take a look in. See the suspension cables. It's a little easier to see the warping on the road over here. You can see why they don't allow people out on the bridge. You can also see just how narrow it is. Definitely only enough room for one-way traffic. If you find yourself in the area, this is definitely worth a stop. Seeing this huge suspension bridge sitting alone in the desert is quite the sight. So that's our look at the McPhaul Bridge, Yuma's bridge to nowhere. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and we'll see you next week.